Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Wayne's World. I'm Wayne Dawson. My next guest has worked on more than 100 movies and TV shows throughout his 5-decade career. Any major Hollywood studio you can think of, 20th Century Fox, Paramount, Warner Brothers, Universal Studios. He's worked there designing costumes. But these days, he's Cleveland's own, bringing a bit of Hollywood to local theater. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my guest, Harold Crawford. Good day. How are you, my friend?
Happy Monday afternoon, everybody.
Yes. You know, we're streaming, so you can pick this up any day of the week. But thank you so much for stopping by. I mean, you're legendary. You are legendary. The things you've done in your career, absolutely amazing. From designing fashions in Hollywood to coming to Cleveland and doing local theater, man. How did it evolve? How did you make it here to Northeast Ohio?
Well, first off, let me just make one correction. Most people, they like to call me a costume designer.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm a costumer. See,
Okay.
There's different tiers. They call them above the level and below.
Okay, talk about that and make it correct us now.
Okay. Above the level is costume designers, lighting, VP, directors, writers, producers.
Okay.
That's above the line.
Okay.
Below the line, costumers, hair, makeup, wardrobe, craft service,
Okay.
anything else.
Now, what's the line are you talking
Well,
about?
that's just how we define our positions.
Okay.
You know? So that's what they say below the line. When you say that, that's like costuming. So and what I do as a costumer is I create characters with clothes. So that's what I've done over my years. I've had the privilege of working with designers. Mm-hmm. The one thing about being a costumer is we get to cross that line, if you will.
Okay.
I've worked on movies where I've designed costumes. And I've worked on movies where I've been just the costumer.
Okay.
So when they want to give me that title of designer, costume designer, I have to respectfully decline because I have a high regard for that title.
Okay.
So I don't.
But you've done that.
But I've done it.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't. I don't want. I prefer to say to them, I create characters with clothes.
You create characters with clothes. That's a lot to unpack right there.
Yeah.
Talk about that. I mean, what do you mean by that?
For instance, well, characters, it doesn't mean anything caricature. It just means that the character for that particular description in the script.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you think about who that character is,
look like,
what he's portraying,
mm-hmm.
and you...
And I go and I have, in Hollywood, I have access to, for instance, I worked at Warner Brothers Studios.
Okay.
Warner Brothers has an acre of clothes. Imagine walking into a wardrobe department that is an acre.
Okay, so you go in there.
I go in there,
mm-hmm.
and I have access to everything. So I'm pulling according to the description of that actor.
Mm-hmm. So you got to do a lot of research.
Yeah. One of the things I really enjoy doing is period pieces. You know, I've had the privilege of doing Men of Honor with Cuba Gooding Jr. and Robert De Niro.
Okay.
King with Cicely Tyson and Paul Winfield.
Okay.
Freedom Road with Muhammad Ali and Chris Christopherson.
That's a lot of, So talk about Men of Honor.
Yes.
A costumer.
Yes.
You go into this place, nothing but clothes.
Yes.
And you pick out what you think is going to match.
That's part of it. Because Men of Honor was, I would say, for lack of a better description, a historical movie, because it was about Carl Brashear. He was the first African-American Navy diver. Mm-hmm. And he was the first African-American amputee to become a master diver. So when we got the script, the designer and I...
You always got to have the script.
Always got to have the script. Mm-hmm. You know, you might have the...
So the designer and you...
Yeah.
Okay.
We sit down and we go through the script and we just go through it. I've read it, he's read it, now we'll talk about the characters. And pretty much just a conversation about what we're feeling.
For my own clarification,
sure.
A designer, costume designer,
mm-hmm.
You're a costumer.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, the difference between that, just to be clear for me.
A costume designer is the one that sets the tone for the movie visually for the costumes. A costume, and as a costumer, it's my job to make that work. I'm like a mechanic.
Okay.
You know, you design the car, but it's like, it's for me to put all the pieces together.
But couldn't the designer do that as well?
Oh, they can, of course.
Okay.
You know, I mean, it just depends on what they choose. Some of them like to do hands-on. Some designers like to be involved. And then there are those that just like to design it.
So the designer actually designs the costume.
thing, yeah.
This is what I want it to look like. And you go and you pick it out.
Yeah. Well, I do research.
Okay.
I'm also doing the research.
Yeah.
To give you an idea, again, Men of Honor. Once we got that script, it was our responsibility, my responsibility, to sit down and do the research. Okay, what is it? Men of Honor with Cuba Gooding Jr. started in 1935. Sharecroppers.
So
What
you
did they
had
wear?
to.
I had to do all of that. And then once we pull these costumes, then I do the research on what did they look like back then.
The costumes are already there.
Yeah, we've already pulled them.
You already pulled them.
But now the process is aging and distressing. You know, when you look at the movie, you see them, you know, Cuba Gooding Jr., he's out in the field plowing and all of that. He gets dirty. And so my thing is to dress them according to that era and that time.
So
the weather. All of that comes into play.
Wow, that's deep. So you really have to know what's going on in the movie, in the script, and all of that.
Absolutely.
What are you most proud of, man? What is a movie that sticks out? The one that you could say,
That's a hard one.
I know it is. It's like picking which your favorite son?
You know what? I would say Men of Honor. Men of Honor, King.
King, yeah.
You know, with Cicely Tyson and Paul Winfield.
Now with King, did you pick out his clothes?
Yes.
Talk about the research you did in that movie.
Oh my gosh, the research that we did for King, I think it was at Warner Brothers Studios, and you know, again, researching Martin Luther King. You know how he dressed.
Yeah.
Era,
those skinny ties.
Yeah, all of that.
Yeah.
So we have access to all of these things. So we pull them. And we have fittings with the actors.
So the studio, they have all these different.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What do they just buy up stuff? How do they?
Well, you know, when we finish a movie, when a production is finished, it goes back into the wardrobe department and it's stored.
Okay.
Until that movie is released.
Okay.
And once the movie is released, then the clothes are released.
Okay.
But otherwise, you hold on to them in case you have to do research.
So they're going to buy these clothes for the movie, basically?
For the movie.
Okay.
And then, actually, you're buying them clothes from the movie, but the money belongs to Warner Brothers, so it goes back into their wardrobe department.
Got it.
So you're constantly rebuilding your wardrobe. For instance, when I did A Living Single.
Yes.
We had I think at that time we had a budget of maybe $15,000 a week. So we would go shopping because each episode, you know, it's trendy. So everything was trendy. So we were constantly shopping, but then we were also recycling some of the clothes that we already had.
That you already had, yeah.
You know, so that's how you build your
That's
wardrobe.
a lot. You know, how did you get into that? First of all, do you sew? Do you design? How did you get into this whole thing?
There are other people that sew.
Okay.
What I do is I create characters with clothes. I pull them if I need a seamster or a tailor, I have access to them.
But how did you get into this whole thing?
I started initially. I wanted to be a buyer in the fashion industry.
A buyer, okay.
Yeah, I was into fashion.
Okay,
you know?
yeah.
And a young lady that I dated that went to Washington High School, and I went to Compton High in 1968. When I graduated, she asked me, before we graduated, she asked me to do an illustration for her. So I did an illustration of a prom girl.
You're pretty good drawer.
At that time.
Okay.
I was good back then.
Oh, yeah.
And so one summer, this guy knocks on the door and he's looking for me. He says, I'm from the Sawyer School of Fashion, Sawyer School of Business and Fashion. I'm looking for Harold. That was me. My dad came out. He explained everything. I said, let me get my dad. My dad comes out. He explains everything, how much it's going to cost. My father worked the nights. He worked for Douglas Aircraft. And he asked, he says, you want to do this, son? I said, yeah. I ended up going to a fashion institute. Now that fashion institute today is called the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising, FIDM, one of the largest fashion institutes in the country, or if not the world. But when they started, they had 26 students.
Okay.
And I was 23 girls.
Okay.
And 3 guys.
And one of 3 guys.
And I was
okay.
one of them 3 guys. And I ended up working at Orbox, a high-end fashion department store back in the 60s.
Okay.
Mid-60s.
As a buyer.
No, in retail, because I hadn't.
Just did
I was
retail.
still in college.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know, and I dated a young lady back then, and her mom was an actress on, I think it was One Life to Live soap. And she said to me, you know, you should go to Paramount Studios, fill out an application for wardrobe. I said, yeah, okay. All right. So I did.
Okay. Okay.
And I actually remember going through the turnstile, going into the office, the unemployment office that they had there, and filling out an application. And at that time, there was a movement in LA, within the entertainment community. It was a government. They wanted more faces of color behind the camera.
Yeah.
You know, and at that time it was NAACP, Affirmative Action, and there was another organization called the Minority Labor Pool or Minority Labor Program, and I fell into that category.
Okay. So you were hired.
I was hired through them for 1 year as an apprentice. I'm a strong advocate of apprenticeship.
Yes.
Because they hired me for 1 year to work at 3 months at the 4 major studios. So at 19, they threw me out there.
Yeah.
I'm standing at the guard gate of 20th Century Fox.
Wow. But the key, you got hired under affirmative action, but you had to prove yourself.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you know,
See, a lot of people think that you get hired from affirmative action and you can just relax, but you still have to prove yourself.
And that was the idea. Is this apprenticeship, the 4 major studios, it was their responsibility to teach me how to be a costumer for 3 months. I was to learn something from 20th Century Fox. I think at 20th Century Fox, Hello Dolly was just wrapping.
Okay.
They had just finished Mephisto's Waltz with Clint Eastwood and was it Diane Carroll.
Okay.
The Diane Carroll show was on hiatus.
Okay. Okay.
And so I was there pinning, learning how to pin. I never pinned anything before.
What do you mean pin?
Pinning clothes and tags.
Okay, okay.
You know, and I'd never done that. I'm stuck in a big place like this with nothing but clothes from that movie.
Nothing but clothes, yeah.
So, you know, so when I finished my 3 months there, my next assignment was Paramount Studios. Same thing. They taught me something a little bit about Paramount, about costuming there. And then when I finished my 3 months there, I ended up at Warner Brothers. And there, there was Jack Delaney. He was the head of the wardrobe department.
Okay.
He mentored me. He was the first man that says, okay, you're here to be a costumer. I'm going to send you to the back lot, and they're going to be they're expecting you. And I said, okay. I went to the back lot, and I did my first movie as an apprentice. It was called The Skin Game.
Okay.
With Lou Gossett Jr.
Okay.
And Jim Garner and Brenda Sykes. I was probably one of the first young black men to walk on that set that Lou Gossett Jr. had seen.
Oh, really? Okay.
Now, understand, there was just a handful of us in this industry working behind the camera.
Okay.
You know, so when I stepped there, when I got there, it was like, hey, we became great friends.
I know that's right. You and Lou Gossett, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
we're going to start right now. I want to talk about Lou Gossett, some of the individuals that you've been in contact with. What type of people are they? Just the Hollywood scene in general. And what does it take to be a costumer? There may be some people out there who want to follow in your footsteps. You never know.
Oh, absolutely.
All
Sure.
right. Stay with us. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Wayne's World. I'm Wayne Dawson. If you're just joining us, I'm here with Harold Crawford, a famed costumer from Hollywood here in Northeast Ohio. Now, we'll talk about your transition to Northeast Ohio in a minute, but first, let's get back to 21 years ago. Now, you're in Northeast Ohio right now, 21 years
home
here.
now. It's home.
You said to be a costumer, it may seem like it's easy, but it's not.
No.
What skills do you have to do what you do?
Well, you know, it's as an apprentice, as I, you know, going into this, learning how to read a script, understanding fabric, understanding as a costumer, we are involved in fittings, You have to know a person's size, the physical anatomy of a person.
You get up close and personal. with them.
Whoa, real close and personal. Yeah, close and personal. That's a good one. Yeah, close and personal.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that in a
Yeah,
couple.
yeah, that's okay. And then, really it's as simple as it is, it's still difficult because you still have to sit down and read the script. You have to spend the time learning all the technical, like background.
Now, all that
BG.
goes into costume?
All of it, yeah.
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 Yeah. Talk about some of the, you mentioned Lou Gossett Jr.
Yes.
And you guys, he saw you, you saw him, like, whoa, there's a guy, brother. What was he like?
Oh, Lou Gossett Jr., he was a good friend.
Mm.
We first met, like I said, on the Skin Game. And then later, because see, I was still this kid working around in the industry. When I finished when I finished my 3 months at Warner Brothers, my next and final assignment was Universal Studios.
Okay.
And when I finished my apprenticeship at Universal Studios, I was hired. And when I was hired at Universal Studios by Vincent D, I worked exclusively for Universal Studios, so I did all of their shows. But then working there, I was a utility costumer, which means I could come in today, for instance, Monday, I look on the board, you're going to be with George C. Scott today.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you're going to be with Clint Eastwood. All you guys, you're going to be on the original Hulk.
Okay. The original Hulk, Lou Gossett. Yeah.
I didn't know the original Hulk. I did Lou Ferrigno,
Yeah.
Bill Bixby.
Okay.
So that would be my show for the week.
Okay.
I would come in, I'd do Willen and Wife. I would be responsible for Rock Hudson. That would be my show for the week.
Okay, so did you have any contact or with
I
Rock
was the
Hudson?
person. I was the person responsible for it. I'm the one that put the jacket on him.
So what was he like?
He was really cool.
Was he?
Yeah. Yeah. All of the actors that I've worked with, they were all, I can't ever remember having a bad time with them, white or black, because I like to think it's the way I carry myself.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You set the tone when you walk into a room.
Are they kind of? Did you run into arrogance or I'm a star kind of personality or anything like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
every now and then.
every now and then, you give it to them because that's who you are.
Yeah. Right.
You
right.
know.
Yeah.
But most times, it's always been a good relationship with the actor.
The biggest person you ever worked with, would you? You mentioned Rock Hudson. He was big.
Listen,
Lou Gossett's big. Cicely Tyson's big. How was Cicely Tyson, by the way?
She was cool.
Was she?
Yeah. When we did King, at the end of the show, when we were rapping, I think we were here in Hollywood, in LA on the set, she bought cases of champagne for everybody to celebrate as we rapped.
How nice is that?
And usually we have rap parties, and sometimes the actors, they'll do things for us. We'll have parties, rap parties.
What do you mean by rap? Just kind of
When
chill and talk?
we wrap the show.
Okay, wrap up the
And
show.
we'll sit and everybody now, we put on our finest wear and we show up at some swank restaurant or
Oh my
someplace.
gosh, yeah.
And
Even the stars would be
everybody, we're all there now.
Is it like a family when you're making a movie like
Yes,
that?
it is. When you're working I'd say at that capacity, it can be really intense. And we're seeing each other sometimes 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
And that could be for 3 months. So we become very close to each other. We in our respective departments, we are still a family. And when we're done, okay, I'm glad we're done. I'll see you later. Bye.
See you later. Now talk about you were in. First of all, man, the bright lights of Hollywood, the Cleveland, Ohio. The lights aren't as bright here. Talk about your transition. And why did you come here?
I said yes, dear.
That'll do it for sure.
Yeah, that did it. No, well, my wife was, she's from here originally. And she was coming back and forth. When we got married, she was going back and forth from LA to here to visit her son and grandkids.
Okay.
And one day, she was on the phone talking to her grandkids, her son actually, and I wasn't paying any attention. I walked past her and And any intention. I went into the bedroom. I come back out and said, "You want to move to Cleveland to be near your kids and grandkids?" I just blurted it out. She looked at me and said, "Are you serious?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "But what about work?" I said, "Well, I can live anywhere, you know, because as long as I've been working in this industry, there have been actors who do not live in California. There are producers. Not everybody lived in California. Back then, people were flying back and forth.
Okay.
You know, so
Did you do that for a while?
I did that for when we moved here. Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
when we moved here, I ended up doing, well, when we moved here, I was working on a movie. So when I finished the movie, I came home, and then I got the movie Everybody Hates Chris.
Yes.
So it was like 6 months in LA and 6 months at home. So I was doing it
So
like
you were
that.
doing the commuter thing, and your wife was here in Cleveland.
She was here in Cleveland.
Yeah, wow.
That was pretty cool, though, actually.
Why do you say that?
Because a costume was never done that.
Yeah. Oh, really? They're usually
No.
okay.
People usually, you know, I feel like I say this. I think I'm one of the luckiest guys I know. I ended up doing something that over the years I've been able to create a life for myself in the community, and in this community of film and television. It is extremely challenging. So for anybody to sustain themselves,
For as long as you have.
for as long as I have, you know, I think when my friend and I, my dear friend, she's in Hollywood. She's retired. She said, "Harold, we did it. Yeah, we retired. That's a milestone. When you can do that
Milestone, yeah.
in this industry, as of color, behind the scenes, not an actor, a director, producer, but of color. And there's been a few of us that have been able to do that. So that's why I say one of the luckiest guys I know.
Did you ever get the urge to say, you know what, I'd like to be in front of the camera, to be how that felt, let's see how that is.
No.
Really?
No.
Why not?
I'm more comfortable. I'm more comfortable back there. But, you know, one time, I remember when I was working I was at Universal Studios, getting ready to do a show. The head of the wardrobe department says, "Harold, we're going to do this TV show, and we want you to be the costumer. And you're going to go." At that time, Universal Studios used to have this, what they call the Black Tower. It was like a 4, 5, 6-story, huge black silver stained glass offices. Everybody, all the producers and everybody came in and out of there.
Okay.
And I had to go in there, and I was sitting there, and people were going in and out this executive office, and I'm sitting there waiting my turn. They're sitting in there, and people, actors, and then my turn comes, and I go in, and I'm sitting there, and I present myself, and we're talking about the script. But first, I sat there, and we kind of looked at each other. They said, "Are you going to read?" I said, "No, I'm sorry, no. I'm the costume." They said, "Oh, okay, well, okay."
You almost. You never know.
Almost.
Not even an extra. Let me ask you, you're here in town. You work with Carol and some other local theaters. You also worked on Peter Lawson Jones's movie as well.
Yes.
As a costumer.
Yes.
Talk about that experience real quick.
Oh, that was fun. You know, I've worked on that's probably one of the best movies I've worked on in my time here in Cleveland.
Wow, that's high praise.
You know, I mean, and I worked on a lot of them. I'm not saying all of them have their own, but working on that one, there was something special about it. It's the energy. It was a collaboration, and you know, and being a part of this particular production team with Peter and Jason, it was magical. You know, because we were all in our respective departments, and it was just the way everything came
Did you do
together.
the designing and the costume, or did you do
Yes.
both? You did both this?
I did both, yeah.
Kim Whitley, just
Yes.
Cleveland's own.
Yeah, that
She's
was
in that
fun.
movie. What's the name of the movie again?
It's called The Last Shop on Walnut.
Yeah, because we had Peter here. We talked about that.
Yeah.
So that was a good experience.
Oh yeah.
Is that it for you? You done? You're going to do anything else?
No. Right now, I'm doing something. I'm now stepping way out, and in the process of talking about doing my memoirs.
That should be nice. My goodness, you got a lot to tell.
And I don't know where we'll start. I mean, we may start when I first when I was on the reservation, where I grew up on the reservation.
See, we didn't even talk about that.
See, that's more
So you grew up on the reservation. Your dad pretty much raised you, or as you said, you raised each other.
We raised each
Because
other.
you left your mom and moved with your dad.
Yeah.
And that was the best thing that ever happened to you.
Oh, it's the coolest thing, man. I mean, my father was he took me to my first acting class. And it was in Beverly Hills, and we lived in Compton. We caught the bus from Compton to Beverly Hills. That was a long ride through downtown LA.
Wow, all that.
All of that. And when we got there, I remember walking up, I remember the street. It was Robinson and Wilshire.
Your dad's your hero?
Oh, my hero. He's my guy, you know. He said, he got me up there. He says, okay, I'm gonna leave you now. You know how to get back home? I said, yeah. And they gave me my first acting gig, my first role, and I blew it. They wanted me to be a lawyer, Perry Mason, on Perry Mason's script.
Yeah.
But I didn't do that too well.
Oh my gosh. Harold Crawford, God bless you, brother. You are incredible. I'm looking forward to the memoir, because you got so many stories to tell, man. One final question before we go.
Yes, sir.
The difference between Cleveland and Hollywood when it comes to talent. We got about 15 seconds.
Oh my gosh,
Acting
there's
talent.
no comparison. The actors here are the most, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, working in Hollywood and working and then coming from Hollywood to Cleveland and working at Caramel, I had no idea I was working with Ron O'Neal, you know, Ruby Dee, Louis Gossett Jr.
So we got a lot of folks here,
A lot of
even
them.
today.
Today, but I had the privilege of working with them in the 70s.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget those guys.
Gosh, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you for
I've
letting me
been
share,
talking
man.
to a legend, Harold Crawford, the one and only. Look out for his memoirs. They're coming out soon. I can't wait to read your memoirs, man.
yeah,
we
we're-
only touched the surface of who
Oh
you
my
are.
gosh, yes.
I appreciate you, man.
Stories. Thank you for letting me share.
I'm
Hello,
honored.
everybody. Thank you very much.
He's Cleveland's own now.
Yes, sir. Yes, I belong to you now.
Yes, right. I want to thank you so much for joining us on Wayne's World. Remember, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, with the help of our Creator, it can achieve. We'll see you next time. Have a good day.